Hi, my name is Michelle Avison and I run Slaughterhouse Print Studio.
The studio is set up for all processes really. We have got etching facilities, we can do lithography on both stone and plate, and we have a relief press for woodcut and lino. I'll just show you around the studio and show you the equipment we have got here.
So our etching press is good up to a sheet of imperial paper at 76 by 56, so a standard sheet of imperial paper. So it's not the biggest press, but it's really good up to that size, and possibly just a little bit larger. The press actually came from the Bank of England, so that's a nice bit of history there. Lots of jokes about bank notes, but unfortunately it didn't come with any plates. But it was used for proofing the plates at the Bank of England, the first engravings of the banknotes. Really nice etching press for intaglio processes, for etching, for dry point, for collagraph, all of those sorts of things. Over here then, as we come into the studio, this area here is for clean paper preparation, and we've got plenty of drying facilities there. And then over in the middle of the studio we've got big workbenches for working and preparing plates and printing, and then dirty area, plate preparation and keeping sort of the dirty jobs over to the side there in this area. Coming to the back of the studio, we've got here our direct litho press for litho stones. It can also be used for litho plates. And then just at this side, our Albion press, so really nice sized Albion press. As I said before, the benches are set up in the studio so that there's a good workspace adjacent to each press. So the Albion press here is laid out in such a way that there's a sort of adjacent space, so ergonomically that sort of works quite well, or that one can work at this bench and come to the press there. Similarly in this corner, the same thing happens, the bench is adjacent to the press, so works really well in that respect. Got a small acid room, and sinks in the corner behind. It isn't a large space. It's a perfectly good sized space, but it's not huge, and therefore there are always a small number of people working here in the studio. And we're trying to build a community of artists and printmakers who share a love of the processes involved and share a love of working in printmaking, and hopefully who can benefit from working alongside each other. So it's a very sharing atmosphere, and we're building up confidence in talking about work and sharing work.
Slaughterhouse has been a great place for me to come and sort of develop my work, and it's great to have somewhere where you can actually look at the work, review it, reflect, and able to expand and experiment. This is very rare in other studios, but Slaughterhouse allows me this sort of freedom to develop those ideas which are not otherwise possible in other areas.
Naturally, probably everybody will say this, that working in a studio like Slaughterhouse, you're working with other printmakers, and there's a very nice feeling of community. You can bounce ideas, you can ask people their opinions, people will help you. Michelle's on hand for help, and everybody kind of moves around each other in a balletic way. One of the problems with working in a very, very busy studio is that the equipment starts to get a bit tired and a bit overused by other people, and then things can go wrong, pressures and so on and so forth. So I do feel confident that when I come here I will be able to get the best print I can possibly get, even though that's probably not the best print ever.
The reason that I love coming to Slaughterhouse is because there's always plenty of room to work. It's a really good space to concentrate and to really focus in on producing work. There's space here for you to think about what you're doing whilst you're doing it, and often in a very busy studio that's not so possible. Also, the other people that come here are also inspiring artists in their own rights, and so it's good to have that group dynamic and to chat and talk over where you are in your own work, and also get inspiration from others that come.